This is an absolutely ferocious defense. Holy shit. This is a battle. I fucking love it. But as I say that, though, All right. Thank you guys very much for joining. This, of course, is a seasonal matchup between Chimera and Easy. I, of course, am Colonel Matthews with the 10th Mountain Division. And, of course, I am joined today by my man, Knoppers. What's going on, dude?
G'day, everybody. Lovely to see you all, or not see you all. This is my shiny face. And Matt's perfectly brilliant that you've invited me to join you for this cast. Thanks, man.
Dude, honestly, the pleasure's mine. I've been watching, of course, Knoppers. For those of you who don't know him, he is from Down Under. He has cast a lot of matches that I've played in this past HCA. Of course, I'm with 20th and 10th. That is our alliance. And I got to say, I'm a huge fan of your work. So, any opportunity to cast with you, of course, I'm going to jump on that. So, trust me, I'm just as big a fan as as you could hope.
I really enjoyed watching the 20th, 10th grow, mate, through the HCA. And it is a genuine pleasure to come and join you because it gives me a chance to talk to you. We've talked plenty of times in Discord via messaging and around those matches that you guys have been playing. And the thing that I've loved the most is watching, as you said to me at the start, 20th, 10th had only sort of just got into this scene, and watching you guys grow and the improvements you make week on week has been great to cast to. So I've had a blast with it, man. And I am looking forward today, of course, to casting this match with you. I follow Chimera. I'm not part of their clan, but I follow them, of course, from the oceanic side of things. But I know nothing about Easy, so there's a really good opportunity there for you and I to, I guess, sort of spitball and talk off each other.
Yeah, I mean, just like Nopper said, I do a lot of usually between matches and stuff. Me and him are always talking about stuff that we as a team could do better. Dude's very insightful. Definitely happy to be picking his brain on this cast. And of course, like I said, he is from Australia and he knows the Chimera guys very well, which of course is one half of our matchup today. So
Hey, Matt, I just had someone rock up at the door, man. So give me 2 minutes. I'll be right back.
oh, dude, do your thing.
Love it.
So I guess in that time I'll talk about Easy a little bit. Here, somebody wants to join my squad, but I got my damn thing off. Hold up. Let me type to these guys. Looks like they're getting pretty close to getting set up. All right. So somebody was trying to join or have me hop on a squad. But anyways, looks like teams are pretty close to getting into the battle. Easy has 50 in. Of course, that's 49 plus one streamer. And of course, Chimera, they have 48 right now. So they're short a couple guys. But as far as what I know about Easy, pretty solid clan. Pretty much knew about them back when I was in a different clan, way back in the day, before we formed 10th Mountain. So, big fan of these guys, definitely pulling for them. So, but, yeah, I mean, I know, guys like Upstage Legion, Appleseed, a few other guys. I'm trying to think. To be honest, the one thing about Easy, a lot of guys kind of coming in and out, moving on to different things, stuff like that. But there's always like that core of guys that have stuck around, throughout the time. But like I said, Appleseed and Upstage Legion, those are two guys that I know mostly. So, and they they keep sending me messages in the game. So, I got guys saying thank you, Mom. So, I'm gonna tell these guys good luck and have fun. But yeah. So what I know about Easy, competitive wise, we did play them a little bit. We had one match against them before the HCA. 20th and 10th, kind of warming up for the HCA. We did 5-0 them in about, it was like, I think 43 minutes was like the time at the end of the round. So, but then again, I mean, this was quite a while ago. So I imagine that they put in some work, put in some effort, some determination since, that match we had against them, which I
I'm back,
believe.
by the way, Matt.
Yeah, I saw you pull up.
Sorry, man. Real life, damn it.
Yeah, I've just been talking a little bit about Easy. A few guys I know from it. Because the one thing about Easy, like I said, some guys kind of come and go, but they always have like that solid core. But the train I was on, like I said, we beat them back in the day, like before HCA had started. And, I'm hoping that from then to now, since it's been a pretty good amount of time, that they've worked on their game and have gotten a lot better since then. I'm pulling for them because I don't think Chimera is going to be an easy task for just about anybody. So,
An easy task. I like it. Pun intended, I reckon. Hey, I've got a question for you there, though. Like, what is their competitive experience? You might have said it already. I'm sorry if you did. What's their competitive experience? Like, particularly that core group, obviously they've been playing for a while. Have they been involved in a lot of friendly scrims, or have they done comp stuff specifically?
so I know their competitive team is somewhat young. From what Appleseed told me, they've been kind of crafting this for the past 10 months. They actually like to be called the Easy Tack Team as far as their quote unquote comp team. Because I remember way back, like the start of like Embassy and all that stuff, which for those of you who don't know, Embassy is a kind of a mishmash of NA clans and stuff, plus Chimera's in there, ironically. Thank you to a whole show. But they always kind of had trouble getting some numbers up. Uh, they could do like 18v18s, 25v25s, 30v30s for a while. And then one day they finally broke through and, actually are able to field a legit comp team now. So I'd say as far as like full-blown 50v50s or 49v49s, probably within the last 4 months, probably a similar time to what we've been in 20th and 10th.
Yeah, okay. And I mean, like that takes a lot of work, man, to build a comp team up from a random bunch of cats, pretty much, because that's what you're doing in comp is you're herding cats. And and I'll just expand on that a little bit further. One of the biggest problems that Hell Let Loose has suffered in the last couple of years that is gradually getting better, which is wonderful to see, is our previous player experience that we all have with first-person shooters. Most games, most first-person shooters out there, and I don't know about you, man, but I've played just about everything there is, from Arma through to Battlefield, everything. Although I haven't played the recent Battlefields, and they tend to force your style down a certain path. And Hell Let Loose is different because in this one, there's no icons generally to tell you where anybody is on the enemy side, and that is one of the biggest challenges about this game. You never really know where that bullet's coming from, which I love because it makes you slow down, stop and think. I like to say it on some of my streams that, particularly for Oceanic players, people tend to play like they've got a pair of grenades hanging between their legs and they're running forward, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And you can't really have that play style all the time in this game. You can have it in Battlefield, whatever, but you can't have it in this game. And Matt, by the way, this is about to go off, by the way, because the map's changing.
Oh boy, yeah. Just noticed that. But to your point, you are 100% correct. Those kinds of games you can get away with some run and gun action and stuff. Hell Let Loose, no. You got to be slow paced. You got to be methodical. You have to, obviously manage spawns and all that good stuff. You can't just Call of Duty your way through the game. Pretty much requires a lot of patience and a lot of action. So map just flipped. Both teams are at 50v50. I'm gonna give it a sec. Kind of let the squads kind of do their thing.
I'd have a train station, man. Oh, interesting. And Ruins is a little bit closer to train station than Rail Crossing is. So that gives the team on it'll be the easy guys that have a little bit of an advantage there of being able to reinforce from Ruins to train. It's harder to go from Rail Crossing to train, I think. That's just an opinion, of course.
Yeah, no, So I agree with you. I
Attention will
know.
make difference sometimes, though.
Yeah, because we actually played. Whenever we played easy, it was on Carentan. However, like the midpoint was train station, but let me switch on over to the stream. It was train station was the midpoint. However, the next point was derailed train, which is the bottom of the
Yes.
second American points. But of course, those of you
But I
guys.
guess.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, go on.
I was gonna say, those of you guys watching the stream, I'm the main cam. Nopper's his point of view is down in the bottom left. Anyways, Nopper's enlighten me. What were you gonna talk about?
Well, like one of the things I look for in these types of matchups is sort of what some of the strategies and tactics might be of the teams in, this is a closed map. When I say closed map, what I'm referring to there is there's so much building and cityscape here that you can't, it's hard to work out what line anyone's coming from. It's hard to work out, where anything's going on at any given time. You can get shot from all sorts of angles. These guys are all very, very veteran players, so they're all going to be looking at, finding little camp spots on tops of buildings or windows or whatever. And it's always that bastard with a rifle that shoots me as I'm running down one of these streets, which are effectively fire lanes. So this is it's a complex map for trying to set up any sort of attack or defense. Because of all of those little places that you run around and go. And with train station in particular, there are so many ways to approach this with cover. That is, nobody can see you coming. You've got walls. It's brilliant.
Yeah, and one thing about Carentan, I mean, to kind of expand what you're talking about, the map itself, with it being more of a cityscape, it has a lot of fatal funnels. It's like a lot of areas where it's really
funnels. I like it.
Yeah, like areas where it's like really tight and compact, can't really escape laterally. Like once the enemy kind of has you like in that, like they catch you in that street or they catch you in that alley, it's really hard to escape. Find cover, find defilade. Like it's a very tall order when you're caught in those kinds of areas. But looks like the match just kicked off. I have the match odds open right now. Let's see how these teams start. So let me actually go back to that. But looks like easy pretty strongly going towards the point. They're only about as far north as the 6th column. Working their way on that red road that's, heading directly to train station from the west. It looks like Chimera is going pretty heavy down the railroad tracks, although they do have some, units kind of flanking north.
Well, what they've got there is they've got a small truckload, or half a truckload down the bottom of the map, and then a big truckload in the middle. But then you'll see they're very good at the blitzkrieg flank. So they've got 3 tanks up north already from mid upwards, recon, and then 2 smalls or medium and small, and a couple of trucks worth of flankers as well. So you get their squad leaders, particular squad leaders that do the little flanky moves and start setting up back garrisons, or getting ready if they lose the point to set up a back garrison for attack. And then, of course, that massive spawn wave on the point to just try and saturate and dominate it at the moment, which by the looks of that might pay off. I'm not seeing as many easy there. Oh, and did you see that? That truck just blew up with everybody in it on easy, mate.
Oh, my God. Oh, wow. I might have accidentally made an oopsie and accidentally clicked start stream, but that is okay.
We just watched,
wow.
So the easy truck there, mate, just blew up with all the people on the point. That's an absolute disaster for them. Although they've got a bit of sector weight here at the moment, particularly down south there. They're trying to control that building way off to the south there, which is is that the mansion? I think that's the mansion, isn't it, on top of the hill down there? So that gives a little bit of overwatch towards the point, and Easy are trying to saturate that, and they've sent literally half the team's going in there right now, mate. That's about 20 or 30 people I can see down that area there. And the truck fail that occurred here was a great shot by whatever from Chimera. It might have been artillery. They're trying to consolidate. What is occurring there, though, of course, is that Chimera, while they have a few people on the point, they do not have sector control at the moment. So Easy's capturing this, even though they're not actually physically in the middle of the circle.
Yeah, I mean, they right now just have the numbers within the 4 grid squares. Like, we see them, opening my map, we see them, heavily in E8. They have some guys around the mansion slowly pushing their way to the north. have 3 frontline Garys up, so excellent from their point of view. Yeah, Chimera has the cork, but Easy has the bottle right now. Although we are seeing cow progress stop, Chimera is pulling it back to the red on my screen, of course.
Yeah, so I just had to stop my shovel from opening and closing every time I zoomed. I'm not really sure why that was doing that. Chimera getting that that first push of trucks. Maybe they lost a truck down here, mate, because there weren't anywhere near as many Chimera players getting onto the point as I expected. They had a truck and a half down south, and there were only about half a dozen on the point, so something must have killed that truck. So great work from Easy. We didn't quite capture that, but well done. But however, all those folks are now, of course, have spawned in and they're running in on foot. With the truck coming in behind that, and now they're starting to get that sector weight occurring because Easy lost that first truck push into the point, and their spawn point must have been about half a kilometre away, or maybe a third of a mile away. For the American viewers, the run in has slowed them down on that sector weight, and now it's pushing back towards Chimera's favour. Although saying that, there's still a lot of Easy down there, mate.
Oh yeah, I mean if Chimera captures this point, they're going to have a hell of a time pushing ahead and clearing all these Easy guys out, especially if Easy is very disciplined with like replacing outposts after losing a point. Which I gotta say, not to bring up old stuff, but in our match against Easy on the same exact point, pretty much the same exact thing happened with an RD round catching a truck on the way in. So interesting to see that same thing happen.
Well, at this level of comp, mate, I must be about the only person that doesn't actually know how some of that stuff happens, because I haven't researched it. But every single match now, I'm always, as a streamer, looking for these random things that people have worked out. Like, there was a match, Utah Beach, where there was a guy rocketing the artillery from like a mile away. He was literally lobbing rockets through the air, and they were landing on the artillery. And someone has spent time at some stage sitting down and working out the maths of that. There's always a tank sitting on top of a pillbox on that map that shoots the artillery from one side of the map to the other and kills the artillery. So then you've got teams start putting trucks in front of their artillery. We should probably point out here, mate, that you've got the Allied forces and I've got the Axis forces on my screen. So your screen being blue is Allies. Mine is Axis for the Chimera guys. And there's a little bit of a Puma versus a 75 at the moment about to occur on the point itself. The Puma's flanking the 75 who's in there shredding infantry. So they don't see each other yet. There's no comms. Nobody knows that's actually there.
Yeah, the Puma just cruised right on by my guy.
He did, and the 75 didn't even look. And it's like, oh my god.
Yeah, and
communicate.
Yeah, and one thing that I know you've beaten down my door about after watching our matches, seeing that 75 kind of out on his own right now. I mean, infantry's not too far from him, and just like
but
that,
he was lucky.
Just like that, Chimera with a capture.
He was lucky, mate, because Mister there is an assault guy who was ready to take the 10 paces around the corner and put a satchel on that tank. And the fact that the Puma, who was there with infantry, ironically, to your point, just drove off down the road by itself. It's like, yeah, fuck infantry, you don't need them.
Yeah, I mean, you can kind of get away with that with a Puma, in my opinion, because, like, I mean, Pumas have a lot of maneuverability, and you kind of want to just cause havoc with them. But
I don't know if I'd drive down the middle there, man, though.
No,
that's pretty ballsy.
Yeah. No, in my opinion, you flank that thing, like, on this map, way around the north, totally away from everybody. You know, maybe even diving on Artie if it's that bad. That
75 is getting flanked by all sorts of people now. And that's the other thing here. In the comp level, folks will, without hesitation, redeploy to an anti-tank class or something equivalent to be able to take out a target like that. That's so soft. And now we've got Hidden literally now putting... Hidden in Shadows, his name is. He's putting rockets into that isolated 75, who has no idea where that infantry is at the moment. He's trying to kill him, but he's down in a defilade. And now he's got him, but like they've now pushed forward. The tanks had to back off. It's been supported. This is the stuff, man. I mean, if they just had some infantry around that tank, it wouldn't have had to reverse, would it?
Although I will say, I don't mean to cut you off, but Chimera is in force on ruins right now.
And they're running a tank forward here as well. A Panzer IV is now pushing around to that 75, mate. They are really dominating on this point here, and Easy are a little bit of trouble there by the look of that. That's a lot of people, isn't it? That's a 50-50 spread of infantry on both sides here on Ruins. Easy need to consolidate their loss here and set up a good defense and then start again.
Yeah, so real quick, can I get you to pop your map for me? I want to see this garrison that Chimera is pushing from. So let's get this map.
Three garrisons.
Oh my god, look at this.
Remember those guys I said at the start of the match that always do the flanking work? So they've run a supply truck where you were talking about Easy not sending anyone north of the 6th row. Big mistake, because Chimera are a flanking team. I can even tell you the players that do it. Entice is one of them. You will, if he's playing today, he will be around the back of stuff. There he is there. If you look at Bravo 6 right now, there's Entice around the back of the point doing exactly what I just said. And that's how they've got 3 garrisons up there, mate.
Holy smokes. I mean, we've even incorporated that strategy into our game as far as having like a flanking supply truck. And it looks like Chimera is dropping a bombing run just to ice this. I mean, Easy has nobody on the point. This is looking rough. And they're calling it an airhead on their last point. But man.
Yeah, because they've got people there as well, and there's no Easy on that last point. They are having to spawn way back. They're in a lot of trouble here, man. This is an absolute outflank from Chimera. They've absolutely outflanked the Easy team here in every possible way. And Easy have got no response at the moment. They're trying to run solo trucks up and things like that. I'm just doing an overwatch here. I reckon this match is over in about 5 minutes because there's about 10 or 15. Oh, look at that.
Oh,
everybody from Chimera is on 502nd.
Oh my. I mean, they have the garrison right on the front point, like right on the front doorstep.
That's game over, mate. That's game over. That airhead's already screwed. The truck that was coming in's gone. Easy have got nothing anywhere near this. They are miles and miles and miles away. Chimera have literally their entire team here. That's what happens. So you see this from a few of the good teams. You have a flanking squad leader or 3 who will just work around the back line because you can afford to have squad leaders in without squads. You know, the rest of your team's up defending or doing whatever they need to do. Those squad leaders are running around setting up all your spawn points. And then, like what we just saw here on this last point, the commander's right, go, send 10 people on that garrison. And literally 2 squads have spawned in on the garrison that was built here. And suddenly you've got cap weight and it's game over.
Yeah, now they're adding insult to injury with a airhead just to consolidate. But you don't even need it. They have the garrison right there.
Here's the tanks from Easy coming back now. That's a 76 and a 75 desperately, but they're getting shot in the arse, of course, because they're unsupported by infantry. I mean, there's no infantry around. The Puma are actually having a bit of a fun time here, flanking people. Oh. He's just been not so much fun now.
You know, that happened so quick, I actually forgot to change my scoreboard for a second. Damn. But
yeah, and there's a tank gone.
Oh my lord. I'm sorry,
that's Blitzkrieg. That's Blitzkrieg and maneuver warfare, mate. And I guess in our personal messages, these are the types of things I've been trying to talk to you about, which is hard to say in a PM, of course. But if you watch this map back, you watch where those guys just flank around the north quite casually. They take their time. They've got an hour and a half, let's face it. And even if Chimera lost the point, those guys would still be out there setting up stuff. And while the rest of the team, you know, worked the point. But there it is.
Wow. That was powerful. I mean, excellent display. Like I said, I know you've been talking to me about stuff like that. That's something, you know, like I said, we've incorporated in our game. You know, pretty much every legit team is doing out there. You hate to see blowouts like this, but man, that was a gnarly performance by Chimera on that one for shizzle.
Everybody learned something out of that, though. Chimera will pick up some details about how they did things there, and the fact that, you know, if Easy were a bit more agile at the start there, Chimera didn't have cap weight and sector control, and they probably look at that and go, all right, we might want to grip that up a little bit. Whatever happened there, I'm not really sure. Easy, of course, and a lot of other teams have got a lot that they can pick up from that particular demonstration. You know, a squad just sort of north of the point, sweeping around, even a couple of people sweeping around up to the north there and trying to gain sector control. A couple of Garys up north for that control gives you warning bells of when people are moving through there. And that's what you want as a commander, to go, okay, we've got a bit of pressure coming in from the north here. Let's deal with that while we try and capture the point back. But they left it alone. They just let Chimera have free reign over almost half of the map, mate, to be fair.
Yeah, I know. When I saw no one from Easy trying to hit like up around the canal, I had a feeling it was going to be pretty rough. And Easy, if you're Easy, it is what it is. I mean, Chimera, probably one of the stronger teams. Definitely one of the stronger teams in the minors for the HCA, but probably a sleeper pick to do pretty well in the seasonal. I mean, after seeing this, I mean, I know Easy's got a lot of work to do after this, but as far as, going up against Chimera, I mean, it kind of is what it is. But like you said, tons to learn here. Definitely get some guys looking, in directions that aren't straight ahead. That and plus that truck getting clap right at the start was pretty rough. So
yeah, I think as I said, as a commander, like I leveled commander 2 years ago, and I try and play some of the other roles other than commander and officer, but I'm always looking at this stuff from a commander's perspective, how I would do it, how I would respond to the threats on the map or the threats on the radar or whatever. And I love picking up things like this because Blitzkrieg and combined arms warfare are what I do for a living in some way or other, a part of my military career. And so I put that principle into this game, and it's so cool you can do that. And Chimera are doing that well. If we go back to the first comp match they played against Sesh in the HCA, they were not demonstrating this stuff at all. But they watched and learnt through these streams that we all provide and their own skills and player discussions to try and pick up some of these things. And now, I mean, this is a result. The last couple of matches, Chimera have had very fast matches. That's 2 out of the last 3 that have been less than 15 minutes, pretty much.
Yeah, and even before the HCA, I guess for those of you who aren't too familiar with HLL Loose, there's a thing called the Helo, which is like an ELO. I know ELO is kind of something that they use to like rank chess players. Well, they have the same thing for HLL Loose clans, and I was watching Chimera a bit because I knew we had them week 2. And they were still smashing teams like 25 minutes. Like they beat 13th Legion that quickly. They beat TAW that quickly. So I'm pretty. I can't say I'm surprised that this is a Chimera 5-0. I am a little bit miffed that it went that quickly. I was expecting Easy to put up a bit better of a fight. But
I think they were a little bit shocked there though too, mate. Let's be fair.
Yeah.
I reckon that caught Easy way off guard. They had nothing to respond to it. There was no garrisons around the back. I don't even know if they were building them or whether they were taken out by Chimera players. But they had no response when that point was captured in the middle there. It was just a knock-on effect across the map that Easy had no counter for, and so that means that a lot of you've got to play the long game, and the long game is. Oh, we're probably going to lose the first point. We may even lose the second point, but we should be ready to not lose the entire match. And they didn't seem to be ready for that. There was nothing. There was no backup. There was no backup of the backup. It was just absent. And I'm wondering what happened.
Yeah, that's something we learned pretty early on. Actually, in a match that you co-cast with Trauma Stew when we fought OC and Foy Boys.
Oh yeah, I remember that one. That was good.
Yeah. One thing that I failed at as a commander in that match, didn't have backups for backups. Our defensive point was kind of bare. And obviously it cost us. Seeing Foy Boys. We had a really good fight for the midpoint, but right after that, it was just a steamroll from there on out. But using transitive power here, all right. 20th and 10th, we beat Easy 5-0 in 40 minutes. We lost to Chimera 5-0 in 70 minutes. So I was kind of expecting a Chimera 5-0, but damn, that was quick. That's all I'll say on that. But yeah.
I did, when I was watching that map stuff at the start, and I saw the Chimera flank north, when I was looking at the 2-minute mark, when the setup had happened, and I watched those vehicles moving north, and I watched what was going on with the Chimera guys everywhere, and I thought to myself, they're going to steamroll up there unless Easy have got something to counter that. That was, I knew this match was going to go super quick if they didn't get stopped, and yeah, I was just watching it and I was like, oh dear, this is going to go that way. Hey, but it's been fun, man. I'm going to go and watch your stream now, to be honest, because I just want to sort of look back at some things in there that I saw and just reassess.
Yeah, I mean, I might too. I mean, looking at the delay and stuff, the match probably hasn't even started yet. So
no, it's still the show is starting soon on your stream.
Oh my god! So we haven't even gotten to what we talk. But yeah, so once again, everybody, thank you guys for tuning in. Of course, I am Colonel Matthews with the 10th Mountain Division, joined by very lovely co-host Knoppers. It's finally great to actually meet this guy and talk with him and kind of bullshit with him for a bit. I thought that was really cool. So, I mean, definitely love to do this again in the future. I think next time I'll try to do it on your stream, so we're spreading the love. But yeah, hell of a cast, man. Thank you very much for joining me.
Thanks, man. I want to try and grab you back for one. We'd sort of talked about that a couple of weeks ago, but it hasn't lined up yet. But I'm definitely going to have you on my show, Matt. I think you do a great job and you're doing wonderful things for the community. And I appreciate, the effort you put in, and I'm sure these guys do as well. So thanks for having me here today.
Dude, like I said, pleasure's totally mine. I think next week maybe we'll try to catch another Chimera match on Nopper's stream, so that'll be pretty dope. But yeah, like I said, anytime if I'm free and you're doing a cast, let's do it, man. This was awesome. So
cheers, man. Thank you.
Yeah, cheers. And once again, thank you guys that are tuning in. We'll be casting more seasonal stuff. There's an 18v18 tournament coming up, so keep your eyes out, keep your eyes open. If you like what you see, maybe think about a like and a subscription. And let's enjoy some more Hell Let Loose in the future. So thank you guys very much. We will catch you guys next time.